Hey friends, Ash here with gentsscents. Hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be smelling some of the worst fragrances of all time. These fragrances are some of the most disliked and hated scents according to Fragrantica.com users, which, in case you're unaware of what that is, it's a fragrance database where everyone that is registered on the website can vote on whether they love or like or hate a particular scent. So here we have some of the worst of the worst, according to Fragrantica.com. So let's smell them. As I work through these, I'm going to try to figure out which one I think is the best, or which ones, and which I think are the worst. So wish me luck. Let's jump into it. First up, we've got a fragrance I've never actually smelled before, but I bought it just for this video, Karl Lagerfeld Homme. And one thing that I think we're going to really come across here is that a lot of these are rated poorly, not necessarily because they smell really offensively bad or anything like that, but just because they're boring. And the reason for that is because designer fragrances are not made to smell bad. There's not a company out there that goes like, hey, you know what would be great? Wasting tons of money making a fragrance that everyone will hate. That doesn't usually happen. So if something is really poorly rated and it's a designer fragrance, it's usually just because it's boring. But we'll see. So here we go with the first one, Karl Lagerfeld Homme. And I'm not gonna be giving you guys a super in-depth breakdown on each one of these fragrances. Pretty much gonna be giving you just my initial thoughts and then keep it moving. It's okay, it's just really boring. Like I said before, it's not really anything that grabs your attention. It's just lavender, mainly lavender. Yeah, I mean, that's really the main thing I'm getting from this is lavender, like a sweet lavender, just kind of fresh, clean, sweet. It's the type of scent that I would expect somebody to buy for like 15, 20 bucks from TJ Maxx. It's honestly not that bad. It's really not. One of the worst fragrances ever, according to Fragrantica, but it's all right. I wouldn't personally wear it, but if I smelled it on somebody, I would think, hey, he's just wearing a clean kind of fresh scent. No big deal. Up next, Jimmy Choo Urban Hero. This one's a little bit newer, and I've talked about this one in the past on this channel. And I was not a fan then. Let's see how I think about it now. And this one I haven't smelled in quite a while. Oh, the opening sucks. It smells like pepper flavored vodka. That's how it smells initially here off the tester strip. It's not good. Yeah, that's pretty awful. I don't like that at all. There's a finger lime citrus note in the top here. They're just trying to be fancy, you know. Hey, this is finger lime. It's not regular lime, it's not bergamot, not grapefruit, not orange, nah. Finger lime, also known as caviar lime. But truthfully, you don't get a whole lot of that. It's starting to settle down now to where it's not as bad, but this is, as I remember it, pretty much horrible. If you're going for a fragrance that's supposed to be just easy to wear and compliment pulling, which is what this is trying to do and failing miserably at, there's a lot of other stuff out there that you should wear over this. Next up, another one I've never smelled, Decibel from Azzaro. So let's crack into it. All right, here is Decibel. It looks like a little microphone. Cool. Let's give it a spray. Let's see how. Oh my God, that's the worst atomizer of all time. It's like a super soaker. It just sprays out in a jet. Like that just sprayed like 3 or 4 sprays just all over the floor over here. None of it even hit the tester strip. Oh my God. Okay, let's give this another go. Let's see if. Oh my God, that's terrible. This is the worst atomizer I think I have ever dealt with in my life. It's just a legitimate super soaker. It's crazy. Let's give it a smell. It's really bad. It's like a smoky potpourri or something. Like a licorice smoked potpourri. It's horrible. This is god awful. This is not good. Yeah, this is complete trash. This is the total package of terrible. The bottle looks like it was done by Paco Rabanne if it was Paco Rabanne bought from wish.com. The atomizer is straight trash, and the fragrance is Also really bad. Okay, next up, Le Majeure d'Issey. Kind of interesting to see this one on here. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but one of the worst ever? I don't know. Yeah, this one's how I remember it. So it's got an aquatic feel, but then it's got this real like fuzziness, almost like white noise or static on your nose. Kind of hard to explain, but when you smell it, you'll understand. There's also some citrus in here that kind of gets swallowed up by that whole static feel, and most of that's coming from the cashmere note that's in the base here. It's not great, but far and away better than the other three I've smelled so far. That one might end up being one of the best ones here. There's also Le Super Majeure d'Issey that came out after that one. That's basically that fragrance, but better. Okay, next up we've got Dolce & Gabbana The One Sport. Everybody knows Dolce & Gabbana The One. Big date night fragrance, the One Eau de Toilette, the One Eau de Parfum, and there are a bunch of flankers in that line. And this one is not very well received. It's really, really watery. Yeah, it's really clean, but watery. Like very aquatic in the sense of it actually smells kind of like water, but with this green herbal tinge to it. Like an herbal water, basically. It's completely inoffensive. Nothing in here smells bad. Like Decibel, that smells bad. This is just kind of weak. That's really where a lot of the hate comes from, is that the performance on this is bad. Really, really bad. It doesn't last, it doesn't project, but it is a sport fragrance, so a lot of people would be wearing it to the gym. Just in terms of the scent, it smells fine. Next up, Polo Red Rush. This is like the redheaded stepchild in the Polo Red line. You know though, off a tester strip, it smells good. I'm not a fan of this fragrance at all. Off skin, it doesn't really work well for me, but off a tester strip, it smells fine. It's musky and it's really fruity sweet. Yeah, there's a lot of fruitiness going on here. There's a lot of apple especially. These last three, in terms of just how they smell, taking nothing else into account, they smell fine. As I said, I'm not a fan of Red Rush off my skin, and I haven't smelled this in over a year, but it's okay. Okay, next up we've got Davidoff Champion. Yeah, that's a great name, Champion. This box actually reminds me of Azzaro Wanted or Wanted by Night, similar kind of style. That's a slick bottle, am I right? It's a dumbbell for all you bros out there. So if you're a gym bro and you think of yourself as the man, buy yourself Champion, I guess. Man, that is awkward to spray. Yeah, this kind of sucks. It's really boring and just smells like a synthetic green sort of nothingness, like green moss and herbs, but in a really fake way. And it's getting worse. Yeah, this is straight trash. Yeah, it's not good, it's not good. So far, the worse the bottle, the worse the fragrance. And I like that. I like that these companies smell the fragrance and they go, you know, this is garbage, but I'm not gonna work on this anymore. And since this is garbage, can we get a really just eye-catching bottle? That way, maybe we can dupe some like teenagers into buying it or something. Next up, Alien Man Fusion. Now this bottle I like. This is a slick bottle. I did not really like this one a whole lot when it came out. Let's see how it does here. Ooh. It's different. It is way different, and I give it points for that. This does not smell like anything else out there, really. It's its own thing. But it's this weird combination of like almost a coffee steam mixing with ginger and osmanthus. So this yellow floral sort of feel, this underlying touch of green and coffee steam. And it's weird. This is kind of like an acquired taste, this fragrance. I imagine 90% or more of guys that are just casually into fragrances would smell this and be like, no, no, no. And then you'll have that 10% who smell it and go, exquisite. For me, I'm more of a kind of guy. That one gets points above everything else for originality because it is by far the most unique fragrance here. And also, I hate the way it smells. Next up, Italian Zest from Dolce & Gabbana. This is a light blue flanker. I hated this when it came out. And I was actually really looking forward to smelling this again, and I still hate it. Yeah, it's like nostalgia, only a bad kind. It's the citrus that I don't like in this fragrance. So the problem with the citrus in this fragrance is that it smells so cheap and synthetic. It smells like a household cleaner, like Lysol or something like that, or like citrus scented Windex. And off my skin, it smells even worse than off a strip. Off the strip, it's slightly better. Off my skin, that stuff is bad. And yeah, it's still as bad as I remembered. Polo Red Rush, actually a little bit better than I remembered. Italian Zest, just as bad. Last one, CK Free, Calvin Klein. CK Free, let's see how this is. Kind of like the bottle a little bit. Looks okay. Man, that is light. I'm gonna have to spray it some more. Yeah, this is not very strong. Alcohol smell. You can tell what you got is great quality when you smell it, and it smells like rubbing alcohol. Nice. So this doesn't smell bad. It's just bland. It's like a really simple, like juniper forward kind of fragrance. It's like a springtime kind of casual daytime scent. The type of thing that you would buy for a 13-year-old. You would just give this to them because it's Calvin Klein, and they would hopefully recognize the name, and then they would think, oh wow, yeah, I'm gonna smell so good. And they're just gonna blah, 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 spray it all over themselves. And because it's mainly just juniper with some fresh woods underneath it, they won't offend anyone, and you just kind of pat them on the head and you're like, yeah, good job, you smell great. It's not that this smells bad, it's just one of the most forgettable, unmemorable things I've ever smelled in my entire life. And I literally will smell it and then sit this down and then immediately forget what it smells like, pick it up and smell it again and go, oh yeah, put it back down and repeat over and over. This thing could be blinked out of existence right now, and there's not a person on earth that would remember that this was ever a thing. Okay, I'm gonna do the 2 worst and the 2 best. The 2 worst, it is not close. It is not close. These are straight up dumpster fire garbage fragrances. First up, Davidoff Champion. This smells so much worse now that it's dried down a little bit. It is absolute garbage. It has this weird, almost hairspray kind of feeling where you smell the fragrance and it hits you in the back of your throat and causes your throat to try to close up. It's just like, no man, you're not supposed to smell that. Stop, stop. This is atrocious. This is really bad. And the worst of the bunch, Decibel. This stuff is apocalyptically bad. This is just, whoo, man. I have not smelled a designer fragrance that was mass released that is this bad ever. I like the similar color scheme with these two, and if anybody ever tries to gift you one of these, punch them in the face. They're trying to screw you over, don't take it. You know, for me, I think the 2 best, and this is gonna sound counterintuitive, Alien Man Fusion. I know I don't really like the smell, but this one is so unique and different compared to all this other stuff that I feel like out of all these, if you told me, you know, just keep 1 or 2, this would be one of them. And you know, the other one might be Majeure DC. It's really heavy on the cashmere. Like I said, a very fuzzy sort of scent profile to my nose, but I actually kind of like it. So there we go, guys. 10 of the worst rated fragrances ever. And some of these are straight up garbage, whereas some of the other ones are just kind of forgettable. We'll do this again sometime in the future. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.